out the side. Yes, sir. Right in here? No, we don't. So kind of touching with that, that is an important element because there sometimes are going to be holes in your slabs. Those organic holes can be where a lot of the grain moves around, and you don't want to take away from that. So do you see this crevice in here? So that crevice actually has a wooden bottom to it naturally from the slab, versus going all the way through to the bed. So you don't want to caulk in the insides. You would want to caulk on the outer sides. That way, if it did go under, it goes to these holes that would be, we do have a couple holes in the slabs. I would encourage you to look. You'll see a couple of them. So when it goes under there, it fills those holes, which is really nice. It's less work for us in the long run. Okay. So with that said, there's one thing we did 2 days ago, and I want to touch base on it because it's really important. This first pour right here that everybody sees in there, that is what I call a dam pour. So you pour that in first, and it flows into the areas that we might have missed. When you build a bed this big, the bed can have little sagged points, or just tape might have been uneven or something like that. So that resin will go in those little holes and dam them. And when it dams them, then it's truly sealed. And then we can take the bucket of our deep pour. We're ready to just lay it out. We can now lay it all out and know that it's not going to go all over the floor. That was an important step because I did not want to do this and it goes everywhere. But yeah, so the dam pour is really important. Once she's all in there and you've seen it and looked at it, you say the slabs or your material or your project is flush and it's good to go. Do a dam pour and it will make it like guaranteed, basically. The dam pour is only about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch thick, and yeah, it usually cures up within 8 hours or something of that sort. It's pretty quick. The stuff we're going to pour today will take like 3 or 4 days, just so you know. We actually mixed in our pearl color with it. That way it matches. So when this is all done and you're at the end of it and you're looking at it, you don't see like a clear layer and then their real resin layer. You kind of see it all flow together. Okay, so that covers basically the resin pouring on the slabs. Now, kind of going back to the slabs, one of the most important things to do is we call shellac. So it's just sealing your wood. So then when you pour your resin doesn't go so deep into your wood that it changes the color of the God-given nature of your wood, basically. Resin has an ability to brown and blacken your wood. And so if you don't do that, it will darken it sometimes. So if you can kind of see at it or see in it right now, it looks honey, kind of like it's wet a little bit. That's the shellac that we put on there. So when we pour today, we can pour it and we know that the resin won't change the color of the wood for the client. Yeah, so shellacking, the dam pour, the caulk, and then the bed. This is also a really important factor when making a bed. On a small scale, all the way to a scale this big, we use what's called tuck tape. So the caulk and the resin peel off of it fairly easy. Sometimes it sticks to it, but we can work with that. We have not found a material to date that peels that resin off. So when this is all done and we pull this apart, to pop this off this bed, if it wasn't tuck tape, would be nearly impossible. You could almost destroy all of it trying to peel it off. So it's important to tuck tape it. Mm-hmm. On the live edges, yes. So kind of touching base with that, the reason for the shellac as well is it kind of, think of wood has hairs. It hardens those hairs so they don't move around so much. So then when you pour your resin, there's a lot less bubbles and there's a lot less flakage of things that could fall off in there if it's a clear resin. Although this is a pearl resin, so worrying about too many things that might fall in there, it's pretty dark, so we're not terribly worried about it, but it can happen. The rocks or something?
What do you process there? Or you have a pre-pour on that part?
Yeah, that's a good question. So what he's asking is, like, let's say we put rocks in here. We want to make it a trout stream. So rocks and little fish or whatever. You would do this almost identical, and then you pour that dam pour, that thin pour, and then you can go in and place your items. And when you place them, you can do one of two things. When you pour your dam pour and wait until it gets really tacky, like really tacky, you can start putting your items in it. Because now they're not going to move around, they're going to squish down and stay put. Or when it's all done, you can use clear double-sided tape and cut it and put it on your item and put it on there. A little bit more of a pain in the backside, but we usually wait until it's cured to almost full cure, the dam pour. You know what I mean? Yep. You do that and then let that completely cure. And then when you do your big pour, your pour is not going to move the rest of it. So yeah, those are all really good questions. Kind of going back to the bed with the tuck tape is really important. But let's say you're doing a smaller project. You don't need to spend the finances because this stuff is not cheap. You can get yourself some good old Scotch tape, masking tape. I think it's like $4 a roll or something like that. And if you're doing a smaller piece with a bunch of holes in it, you just tape it and just go to town. Like right when you think you've taped it enough, tape it more with this product and kind of tape it up over the edges, you know? So it like hugs your material, your slab. And when you tape it, what that's doing is basically you're making that bed and you're also creating the dam on a smaller scale. If you ever have a project that calls for something like that.
Are you going to be able to reuse this, or is this a single-use bed after all that time?
Yeah, that's a good question. Most of the time, we're able to use it. Because this is the largest one we've done, we're hoping when it's all done, we can peel off the caulk and then run a wedge, like a chisel wedge through there, and it will just delaminate super easy. If it does, you take like a bed that costs a bit and you can use it again. Yes. So that is a very good question on the side of finances. And then the other thing too, if you guys all notice this, this is a way that forces your material to stay down in case moisture came in tonight or the wood just wanted to move. Wood is wood, it will move. But these are basically ribs on the body, keeping everything together and down. Do you boys have anything you want to put in?
I got one thing with the rock question where you want to do a thicker bottom so that when you go to see your bottom, you're not going to put rocks.
Yes. So talking about the rocks, putting rocks in there, what he was saying is just build up that bottom a little bit more. Go like if you could do a 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch to an inch right in there. Yeah, you would have to pour one dam pour, let that cure, then do one more dam pour. Because you can only pour surface so thick. So that way that second dam pour, about an inch, would you say? 3/4? that bottom layer where you put the items. Yeah, like 3/4 of an inch or something. It's just when it's like a 1/4 inch, and if something happens and we run it on the CNC, it goes over this with a blade. And if one of your rocks or the items is too close to the surface, you're gonna smoke it. You're gonna hit it. But yeah, that's a really good point as well.
In between your layers, do you have to do anything to the dam floor first? Do you have to stuff it up to get the different layers of acrylic to bond together?
To bond to it? That's a good question. Typically, no. What it's mostly bonding to is the wood. It's kind of tying it all together. Resin will still attach to resin very, very well. Like very well. But scuffing it up, like let's say you wanted to do a layer and you're just doing like a small area, you could scuff it up, but you wouldn't have to. Yeah, that's a good question too. Yeah, does anybody else have any other questions, ideas, any projects? Go ahead.
The question about the wood and how long you have to acclimate that for before this process, and whether clients' property that was 8,000 feet really dry, you would do something different. Just kind of you talk about moving and holding it down here.
Yeah. That's a good question. So when we milled this log, I try to mill them at like 3 inches thick when you're going this big. Once we get it, we dry it here. I like it when everything's in house because we're responsible for everything, and that means we can also fix everything. That machine back there behind everybody is the kiln. So basically when we mill, within 6 months to a year, I like the wood to just chill out. And then we put it in there and cook it, for 2 weeks to a month. You want your wood to be right around 5 to 8% moisture. So if it's around that and you seal it, let's say we get at 8%, that's beautiful. We fully sand it and seal it at 8,000 elevation all the way down to Florida. This is like 0 or even negative, I swear. You got no problems, right? You want to have a product that you can deliver anywhere. The other thing that makes wood move, and it's important to cure, is this has a lot of burl in it. So the more branches that the tree has and burls, the things that grow out of the tree, give it much more beautiful character. It's much more beautiful than just a straight board. And so the opposite side of that is your wood wants to move a lot more. Your grain isn't just straight. It's going in all sorts of directions. So drying it properly, sanding it, finishing it properly is really important. And then the most important part about this is the base. So just in case something did happen, you never know. Our base that we're putting on here is actually what is going to bring it together. So it'll stretch about from here to here, and it's about this wide. So it's a 1/2 inch steel on an X style base. And so we're doing 1, 2, 3 of them. And so what it's doing is it's bridging this slab to this slab. So your resin is actually not structurally holding it. Resin probably would, but it's not fibrous like wood. It is malleable, so you want to have a structure underneath it when you're doing something of this kind of a scale. Anybody got any cool projects coming up?
Sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
Clearly, then resin is enough to hold this project together before you get the base on. But I know some people will do butterfly joints. Like, when do you make that decision or not?
It'd be like art almost, like aesthetics. If you want to do it, where would you put it? That would be cool. And could it actually structurally hold it even better? Those are things the craftsman's going to want to kind of think about and put together. But yeah, when you do something like this, you need to have something that bridges the two materials. Like when they do concrete, they do rebar, right? That's what bridges everything together. In a situation like this, that base is what's going to do all of it. Yeah.
Green lacquer has to be black.
Oh, we all call it shellac. because that's how we started with the product shellac. Over time, basically you can use any material, any finish that is going to stop the resin from changing the color of your wood. It could be water-based finish. It could be oil-based finish, as long as it's dried and cured. Yeah. Maple, so this is big leaf maple, western maple. It has a tendency when you pour resin to change color. You can see it on the door in there. It's natural beauty, and in certain areas that are blackened. And that's just because of the resin penetrated through really punky, soft, spongy material. But yeah, you could shellac with any product. Yeah. You guys want to pour? All right, these boys are gonna get after it. All right, you got it from here.
Yeah.
Sweet. What? What? Yeah. Or do you want me to talk into that? Oh, okay. I was gonna wait until they start pouring to kind of go over that. So right now, instead of, it's been sitting in them buckets for probably about an hour. You could pour it, but you should probably mix it and get after it. Mix it and keep mixing it. Even when you think you've mixed it enough, mix it some more. So in this situation, because of the metallic powder that's in it, he's making it even through the entire amount that's in that one bucket. So when he pours it, it looks even. It doesn't look blobby, if you will. And they've got a just a good old Rada paint paint mixer on there with paddles that run up the column, and it helps to mix it from the bottom of the bucket up. That's a good point. A lot of people will do that and put it from one bucket to another. You don't have to do that because you're going to introduce air to it anyway when you pour it. So you just got to be vigilant about the bubbles. And I'm going to go into the heat gun and all that here in a minute.
You're not putting in that first layer, are you?
No, they already did it.
Oh, they did. Oh.
Yeah, you can see it in the middle. If you go to the middle, see how it's like pink in the middle? Yep.
So it's not upside down.
You can do that.
Is it upside down?
This one's
No,
not.
the virgin stuff is
So-
underneath.
Mhm.
How are you going to surface the top?
So this is the beauty of
You
it.
don't bend your machine.
Well, indeed, but we make it fit.
You do.
Yeah, we have carts that, because it cantilevers way out, and so we have carts that hold that cantilever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. And so we do one section, spin it, do that section, flip it, do that. It's a hoot. It's a time. Oh yeah.
How do you calculate how much resin to get ready?
Time, experience, but if you do, there is calculations for it. By voided math, you can go online and there is a full calculation.
Because it's not cheap, right? Like
No.
you wouldn't want to waste.
It is not. Yeah. So like everybody see the natural voids in the wood. So they calculated pretty darn close the right amount. But let's say they were a little under. That's fine, because they can mix another batch to top it all off like right away. But if they had more than enough, you can use it to fill up the voids and the holes and the channels that are natural in the wood. All right, so I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about the fans. They are super important. So I've gotten a lot of horror stories from folks over the years about resin cracking, splitting, or whatever. 99% of that is because of the air movement. You got to have air cycling through the environment. The things you battle with is like dust, flies, mosquitoes. Oh, they're the worst. What you'll get is air that moves through and it eliminates your bubble, a lot of your bubbles. It reduces the heat, so your cracking, splitting, or anything like that is almost minimum, zero. And and so this will sit for three. So Friday it'll set, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday it'll probably be squishy, but at least then you can go through and pick anything out on the top that might have been like a bug or something of that sort. The deeper it is, the longer it takes to cure.
Don't go over 3 inches.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so like these voids over here, the resin may or may not make its way to that. And so they'll go through and just kind of top those off a little at a time. And if it spills over, it's not a big deal. That's what the tarp is for on the floor. And even if it spills on the slab, it's not a big deal at all, because when we surface it, meaning put it on the CNC, all that top mess comes right off of there, back down to the wood, and even with the resin, near perfect.
How much are you going to take off when you do that?
It kind of depends on how much is poured on there, but anywhere from an eighth to a quarter. So right now the slab's sitting at like 2 1/4. You wouldn't want to go less than 2 inches on a slab this big, just because of movement. So you want it thicker the better. So we'll take probably about an eighth to a quarter off.
Which will take that shellac finish off too. Right?
Exactly. Yep. And then you get back to your beautiful wood, and the resin never went down in there and changed the color of it. That's the point of the shellac, is it doesn't go into the wood and change it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So you guys can all pass that around. That's kind of it cured. That was what the client fell in love with, just that pearl. Nice. So all the little fans keep the air moving around, but if you look at the south end of the slab down here, there's a massive fan that'll run all weekend. Keeping that air moving is vitally important. These little guys they wouldn't be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any questions as this is going on?
So what were your final finishes?
Like the material, like our lacquer.
Yeah, I mean, once you clear it again with your CNC machine, then what are you going to do?
Oh yeah. Do you have that? Just pass it around. It's around here somewhere. But that, yeah. So what we do is we basically sand the wood. You can sand. So real quickly, the wood is a softer material than your resin primarily, until you get into like ironwood or something of that sort. So we sand the wood even to the resin, and then we take it up. What do we take it up to sanding? Like 600. 600 grit blends the softer material, which is your wood, with the hard material, your resin, and it allows, if you go too high, your finish will not like to stick to it. Your finish doesn't have much to stick to on the wood. So if you go about 600 or below, and we spray on our lacquer, that gives it a beautiful, even finish over the wood, still exposing the wood for its natural beauty, and then covering the resin. So resin, when it cures, is extremely glossy, and not a lot of folks like that. So you got to bring down the gloss of your resin. So spraying that lacquer over it, or a finish, brings that down to a less glossy finish, if you will. Yeah, lacquer will stick to it real good.
You use a satin finish. Is that what it is?
Yeah, in-house, all of our stuff is a satin matte, low sheen, if you will. It's really popular in design right now. Um, there are some folks that like a higher sheen, higher gloss, but that's just a preference, if you will. And then if there's any extra, we can bring it on over to the finish room over there. Yeah, anything you can less work in the later. You mean the fans? The fan, yes.
Helping stop the stuff from landing on it. Bugs.
Yeah, you still get some of it though. You still, but
is there any issue with the heat buildup? I mean, there's a chemical reaction creating a certain amount of heat.
Yes. Yeah. So the heat that's being created in it right now is dissipated by the movement of the air. Luckily, it's not like 90 or 100 out. This would be very challenging to do. You'd have to have like AC running in here. You'd have to.
You're also dissipating the heat.
Yep.
That's another issue.
Yeah. So like, see there's some groups of bubbles.
Yeah.
So that's totally normal. That's typical when you're pouring. And then we'll go into like the heat process. You got to kill the bubbles, right? You got to knock them out. So I'll go over that here in a little bit. The cooler, the better. I have not done it at sub-zero. I don't think people like to work at that. But yeah, I think like 50 is the lowest we've gone, and she still does. Yeah. Yeah. Just as long as the air is moving. Yep. Yeah. If you let the resin sit in the buckets for long periods of time, the resin will actually chemically react in the buckets, and they'll cure and even possibly melt your bucket. Just so you know.
Now you've got it, it's overflowing in the middle.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you have to give it a little while because it may sneak under in areas that you just didn't even expect it to do that. So the reason for that right now anyway is just the unevenness of the building. So we try to shim the wheels, shim the slab under there, and the bed. So it's important to make it as level as you can make it.
And I'm saying you pour finish up.
You what?
You
Oh,
pour the finished slab up,
uphill.
not
Yeah,
upside down. You're
yeah.
not pouring it.
Oh,
So I said the underside
I see what you're saying.
Is
the top.
Stuttering.
We've done that before because your bubbles rise, so they would go to the bottom. It's a great thing. It's not bad. People do that. In this case, we did it because we poured that dam pour first. That dam pour is the bottom.
I'm thinking if you're seeing the finish.
That's yeah.
I don't know what is there a rationale for doing it one way or the other?
If you don't have a CNC, you do it upside down because then you don't have nearly the work ahead of you. But for us, it's not a big deal because it's going to get CNC'd anyway. That machine's going to make that thing perfectly level. It's going to knock off all this extra resin and any bubbles that it's going to knock those down because we're going to go down about 1/8 of an inch as well.
You really don't care about the buildup because you're just going to knock it out with that pass.
Yep.
Okay.
And the shellac stops the resin from seeping far into the wood to change the color. So when we hit the CNC on it, you go back to the naturalness of the natural of the wood.
So then if you are not even and you have to over pour it to get it flush over there, again, it's just all going to get flattened out.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But you want to make it as perfect as possible, for sure.
Because you're preventing future work.
Future work, and resin's not cheap. Yeah. Okay, are you you want me to put this bucket in the finish room? Or you want me to still keep it up for you?
If you want to put the full one in there, leave that half one out just in case it's a really small.
Oh, okay, okay.
But the full one that's
over
right
there.
Over there.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Like you obviously got
CNC and all this stuff. So when you're handling it,
You said 10. Maybe we're wrong.
I put this into play. Because I have, yeah, I have
bigger
help.
guys.
Yeah, it's crazy, you guys. I'm gonna have to, like, we're gonna move this to the house. It's not gonna be just 2 people. 4 people.
So you have less skills and much larger guys.
Maybe a
Big
helicopter.
Maybe a moving
Yeah.
company.
Yeah, it'll be. We were thinking about like 8.
But even when you
Yeah, well, four of us can do it most of the time because it's on a cart.
Okay.
So it's easy. And then usually you're rolling it. Carts still holding most.
So these 2 parts you tie together.
Yeah.
there were 2 slices.
Yeah.
You could see the pearl.
Yeah.
So you'll be rolling this entire thing somewhere.
Around. Yeah. Go to
How
the,
many people does it take to do that?
It's not like. But at least one guy can roll.
On your next job, flip the whole thing over so it's stacked.
Yeah. You get that a little bit sometimes. But yeah, if you've been over to the other side, that CNC machine, that's what makes it like perfectly flat.
You need a door here so
Oh,
you
yeah.
can straight
I
through.
was going to, but they have like this beam right there,
Oh.
and then all the electricals right
I
there.
see. Thought about it.
I was trusting. I was going to do that.
So do you the craft question. There's so many steps that take so long. You get software like you've got all of these projects on that don't know.
Oh.
I got to start 2 years early.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Or a notebook.
Yeah. It's more of
There's a lot.
and a whiteboard. Well, the
I
guys,
like the whiteboard.
you just have to get through. That's really it. You have to know. I don't have time. You know, they what you do. That's a good thing. I can go get logs. I can go get logs and feed my clients and deliver tables, all of them.
How do you like? How do you
Yeah.
like the Did you like the way it poured? Is it
Yeah, that was
super
really,
cool?
yeah, that was.
You know
nice.
what I didn't notice? It had all those little like tiny nooks and things like the pour in. That was
Yeah.
I'll fill it in.
Oh yeah. Yep. There is. You better.
I just really see it about this and how it's not all the way. You'll just wait till that gets kind of solid and then put a little bit more in right there.
Yeah. If it's not already there,
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
I mean,
I think you said, yeah, we change the keys, make it all easy.
So the season that we got
and how was the process?
then you guys CBC
Right. Yeah. So then these.
Yeah.
But your core.